on the last two meetings, including last year's in Winnipeg. For more on the game that we'll see today, here are Paul Romanuk and Gary Green.
Hey, thanks, Gord. That last win for Canada, remember it well. It was the 5th gold medal in a row for Canada at the World Juniors, a 2-0 shutout in the final game in Geneva. But that was a couple of years ago, and the U.S. has come up with back-to-back good efforts against Canada. They're hoping for a third in this one. What is Canada going to have to do to shut off the U.S. tap?
Well, Gord was talking about fireworks. Well, Canada could use a few of those today. This is a building block game for them. They need a really good, solid game. A good old-fashioned Canadian hockey game would be the best bet, and hopefully the Finnish referee will allow them to do that today. The U.S. would like the same type of game. But, Paul, for Canada today, they've got to get all the lines into this game, all their defensemen. They're going to go with 7 again, but they need a good, intense forechecking game, really, to pull this team together to get them ready for the medal round.
You know what? The U.S. has really impressed me in this tournament. In the past, they've always found a way to lose. They haven't had much luck. This year, they gutted out a tie in their opening game. They picked up a 1-0 victory in their second game. They've shown a lot of character and been very impressive. It is going to be a tough game for Canada today. Now, as far as the U.S. goaltending picture is concerned, a bit of a surprise there. With more on that, let's bring in Bob McKenzie.
That's right, Paul. Up until this point of the tournament, Rick DiPietro has played every minute of every game, but today, Philippe Sauve, the son of former National Hockey League netminder Bob Sauve, a draft pick of the Colorado Avalanche and a member of the Drummondville Voltigeurs of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, will get the start. He is the only junior hockey player, major junior player, on Team USA's roster. Now, head coach Jeff Jackson said the starting of Sauve tonight is as much a decision about who will play tomorrow as well. If Sauve plays really well and beats a lot of his major junior mates in this game, he could get the start. But if they do fall tonight, Sauve can be back to the backup role tomorrow, and Rick DiPietro will go in as a rested player going into an afternoon game or an evening game tomorrow night.
All right, Bob, nothing Matthew Biron. Canada would like better than a win over the U.S., eh?
The World Junior Hockey Championship on TSN is brought to you in part by Esso and the Esso Extra Card. Swipe the card, win and earn. By Air Canada, proud to sponsor hockey coast to coast. In this country, every day is game day. By Royal Bank Financial Group, building relationships one customer at a time. And by Nike Hockey. Our goal is not to make the player, but to make the player better. Just do it.
It's time for all Canadians to make a commitment to better our hockey programs. Esquire and the Canadian Hockey Association are working together to develop minor hockey in Canada. $1 from each Esquire watch sold between October and March will go directly to the sponsorship and growth of minor hockey. Check out tsn.ca/ESQ or your participating Esquire dealer. Tell us about your team of superstars. They could receive Bauer merchandise and be the next Team Esquire stars to say,
He took the bigger bowl. Is it that he knows the irresistible sweet taste of Honey Nut Cheerios comes from good ingredients? Or that he couldn't reach the even bigger one higher up? Honey Nut Cheerios. Real honey nuts and the goodness of Cheerios. It's the one with the B on the box.
Celebrate the millennium with the Cheerios 2000 Scratch and Win card, and you could win a trip for 4 to the 2000 Olympic Games in Sydney, Australia. Look inside these specially marked boxes.
So, Wade, what's next in your quest for points?
I really want to try boxing.
Pugilist.
Hey, I'm Wayne. That's nice.
The great one has managed to elude every single punch, Roger.
The champ is throwing everything. Hooks, uppercuts, left hooks. Gretzky is just ducking everything. It's unbelievable.
Wayne, you don't get no points, you don't throw any punches.
I've always won without fighting.
Do you want points? Want to win in Durango? Got an Esso Extra card? So use it. Now you can win and earn at Esso.
Uh-oh, Wayne's still smiling.
Swipe the card, win and earn.
World Junior Hockey Championship on TSN. Brought to you by Molson Canadian. It's a Canadian game.
Welcome back. Starting goaltender, as Bob mentioned a few moments ago, Philippe Sauvé, the only Canadian junior hockey player on this U.S. team, plays for Drummondville in the Q, draft pick of the Colorado Avalanche, and he gets his first start of the tournament. Maxime Ouellet at the other end for Canada. He has only given up 4 goals on 104 shots, a save percentage of .962. He has been a rock in goal for Canada. The referee for this game is a Finn, Marco Cruz, and a Canadian and an American on the lines. USA is in blue, Canada is in white. And a big difference from 1 year ago when the game really didn't mean that much for Canada, nor for the U.S. They came in knowing that they would be going to relegation round play, but they came up with a great effort against the Canadian team. And it's going to be Manny Malhotra coming out to take the face-off for Canada.
Canada would like to start off here with a very quick lead. They'd like to get that first goal. They feel if they can, well, it might take a little bit of the starch out of this U.S. team, who have had a difficult time scoring in this tournament.
The great thing about being this far into the tournament, from a coach's point of view, Claude Julien was telling me that now you get more of a feeling as to who your go-to guys are, which guys are hot, which guys aren't so hot, and you can make much more use out of your bench, line matchups, things like that. U.S. comes in. It's David Inman firing the puck in on goal. The first shot on goal goes in on Ouellet, and he holds on. Take a look at the starting lineups, brought to you by Chapters.ca. Just you and a few million gift ideas.
Well, we'll see all 4 lines today, and probably a little bit more of Spezza as well. Malhotra has been leading the way for Team Canada. He is their captain and, without question, their leader. Back in the blue line, they're not going to change much there either. Bouwmeester should see plenty of action again today. They'll use 7 defensemen, so not much changes for Canada.
Off the draw, it's Bell for Canada, sliding it up ahead. Tyler Bouk sent it up towards the blue line. That actually hit Nielsen in the helmet and dropped down. Levesque works it across. Dunlop stopped up at the blue line. Trying to climb his way through there is Malhotra. Good hustler here by Malhotra against Inman. Here's Levesque. Puck stolen by Heatley, and then he was stopped at the line by Dunlop. U.S. defense moves the puck very quickly. That is maybe the biggest strength on this U.S. team. McCarthy throws the puck in. Janik back to pick it up. Turned away from the forechecker, gets it up along the boards. Kavanaugh looking for a bit of help, flips it back for Janik. Kavanaugh, number 15, who's out there, was a last-minute addition to this U.S. team. Puck there for Heatley. He snipes one on goal. Sauvé stopped that. Kavanaugh came over to replace an injured U.S. player, and happy to get the opportunity. Hainsey moves it up ahead. Stopped up at the line. Puck just poked around by Lundmark. Tafe up the middle. Tafe gets it over to Heiston, and Heiston will just clear it in. U.S. making a couple of more changes. Puck just chopped in on goal there by Hilbert. Up in the corner, Adam Hall trying to knock it down. Hall works it down into the corner. Pinch for Canada gets it around back of the goal. Here's Lundmark. Pinch to Biron. And Biron under pressure gets it up along the boards and out. Ribeiro coming up after it. Orpik fires it up off the boards. Orpik follows up there at the line. Here's Hall. Up towards the blue line, knocked away. Chouinard working it up. Pettinger clears it in. Pettinger, Chouinard, and Ribeiro out there for Canada. Ribeiro after it along the boards. Trying to get it out to Chouinard, but that was knocked down. The puck rolls there to Sauvé, and he will hold on to it. Good pace to start this one. We're tied at 0.
I'll take a look at the U.S. lineup here, and some familiar last names anyway. When you look at Dunlop, his father Blake played in the National Hockey League. And as well, we had Lauren Henning's son Brett right there, who also played in the National Hockey League. Gilson is a key guy for them back in the blue line, but what Jeff Jackson wants out of his team today is for the defense to shoot the puck a lot on net, and he wants his forward screening. They know Ouellette's a big part.
Puck comes back off the draw. Rossiter fired it in. Here's Stewart. Puck cleared out at center. Breaking through is Sabo. Sabo whacking away. Burrows his way in towards the net, but couldn't hold on to the puck. There's Sabo again. Got it in over the blue line, but Ryder was hooking him up. Ryder in over the line. Bell and Richards up there with him. Ryder crashing his way to the back of the net. Here's Foley. Takes the return feed. Foley coming to the line, but he's by himself. The U.S. on a change. Foley just dumping it in and peeling back to the bench. Bomeister along the boards. Got it in over the blue line. A delayed offside, though. McCarthy got caught up in a scramble and couldn't get out. Malhotra had his pocket pick there at center. Now he gets it back. Levesque checking him. Here's McCarthy. Bomeister. Up ahead to Nielsen, trying to chop it ahead. This is Levesque. Number 7 for the U.S. Levesque comes in over the blue line. Fires one, but offside called. Connor Dunlop a step ahead on the left wing. We played 4:02, 0-0 in this one.
Welcome to my Hall of Fame. Home of the quickest, most awesome player to ever hit the ice. The place where with one unexpected move, I can single-handedly bring thousands to their feet. What's your dream?
First period is brought to you by Dodge and its local retailers.
Well, Jeff Jackson, as I was pointing out just a moment ago, wants his forwards to really get in front of the net today. When they're in that offensive zone, he knows that Ouellette has been such a huge factor in every game that Canada has played. They feel that he has been seeing second shots way too well, and as a result, they don't want him to see that puck. They want their forwards to do a good job today screening, and they want their points to shoot the puck.
You know, getting back to those lineups, you were pointing at the NHL connections. I mean, that's inevitable with all the Canadians who've gone to America over the years to play in the NHL. It's going to be a great day and a sad day when one day Gretzky is on that lineup. Here's Lundmark. Out to center. Trying to poke it in over the blue line. Knocked down. Lundmark gets it up ahead. Look out. Heatley shooting rebound, and he couldn't convert. Great chance for Heatley, and a nice stop by Sauvé. Reed trying to center it and play whistle down. Great chance for Danny Heatley as he walked in from the top of the slot, and Sauvé was with him all the way.
You know, Heatley's had a couple of good opportunities already in today's game, and point-blank opportunities. That puck was bouncing around in center ice, and all of a sudden, watches the defenseman right here for USA went the opposite direction. Heatley couldn't believe he all of a sudden had that much room. He waited for Sauvé to make his move first, but Sauvé goes down in that butterfly style, but he still had his back up and was covering lots of room, so Heatley didn't have an awful lot of room to shoot.
As the late, great Ted Darling, Hall of Fame NHL play-by-play announcer would have said, Sauvé with the great stop.
One thing Sauvé doesn't need is a goaltending coach and an agent.
Jackman trying to flip it in, puck rolling around. Pettinger fired one. There was lots of traffic there in front. He tried to go upstairs and couldn't quite do it. Puck rolls up into the corner. Out in front, Nowak was trying to get loose. They jam away there at the side. Ouellette trying to close what little room there was, and Pettinger starts it back. Chouinard to Ribeiro, moving in as they fan out. Ribeiro fired it, and that was deflected. Ofiero got in front of it. U.S. coming back the other way. Hilbert driven towards the corner. He's going to get a bit of help along there from Hall. Hilbert jamming at it. No one trying to help out. Back to the line. That was blocked. Janik let it go, but it hit a set of shin guards and popped into the Canadian bench. One thing Canada will have to be wary of in this game, we talked to Claude Julien about it beforehand, the U.S. defense.
Well, obviously, it's the same all the time. We're talking about keeping the puck in deep. They've got a good defense that moves the puck well, and we want to make sure that we keep the puck in as low as we can. We've scored most of our goals coming out of corners or generating out of the corners so far in this tournament. We'd like to keep doing the same thing. It's brought us success, and as I mentioned, I think the most important part is making sure that we play our best game in the tournament today.
All right, Gary, so far, are they executing their game plan, or is it too early to say?
No, I think this has been a perfect type of game for Canada. They've had some scoring opportunities. They've got their feet moving, getting everybody into the game, rolling them over.
Now coming out of the corner. Bell trying to get to the front of the net. He was hauled down. Bell knocked it loose to Ryder. Kinch stepping up into the play. Richards centers it. They battle away in front. Here's Ryder nipping and diving back there behind the goal. Comes out. Ryder gets a shot. Point blank. Rebound. Jams away at it. And Sauvé holds on. Ryder just seemed to hold on to that puck forever. And he came out and got a good scoring chance.
But Sauvé really waited him out. He showed great patience there. Ryder was looking for some room by Sauvé. Surprisingly, none of the U.S. defensemen attacked Ryder. They opened it up, in fact, allowed him to look for that opportunity. But watch Sauvé. His concentration here is excellent. He came out, he cut down the angle, he got into that butterfly, and then was quick to cover up on the rebound. I mentioned that he doesn't need a goaltending coach because, as Bob McKenzie had referred to, you know, his father was a great goaltender in the National Hockey League, and his father's also an NHL agent.
Bob Sauvé had some great years with the Buffalo Sabres. Sauvé scoops it up to Levesque, and he will start off. Levesque coming out. He has Dunlop with him as they swing it over the blue line. Inman also up there in the mix. Canada back the other way. Nielsen shoots. Rising shot. Wrestled down. The rebound comes out. Dunlop chasing after him. He was bumped along the boards by Rossiter. Nielsen, long pass up ahead. South comes in, and the puck gets chopped off his stick and up over the glass.
Now, Holtra, I think, has gotten better and better as this tournament has gone on. He loves the fact that he's out there in key situations, winning faceoffs. He's loved the role of being the premier penalty killer, and what a job he's done along with his teammates at that. Manny Malhotra is getting exactly what everyone that has enjoyed watching this young man gets in this tournament. And that's lots of ice time and the abilities to play and building his confidence. He's a good team leader. You know, interesting, get back to the United States for a second here, Paul, is that Sauvé was really a late addition as far as being able to be the starter here today. When I spent time with the assistant coach, Jim Johnson, before the game, they didn't expect that Sauvé was going to be the player. They didn't think that he was going to start today, but they're concerned about the number of games that they have in this short number of days. This is their 4th and 6th.
I think maybe they just didn't want to tell a Canadian broadcaster who was starting in goal. That's what I think it is. Conspiracy theory. I've been watching too many X-Files. Here's Reed trying to get it out in front. McCarthy. Reed. Here's Lundmark. Looking for a bit of room. Couldn't find it there. Reed up back of the goal. Here's Heatley. Pulled off of his stick. Heiston out across center. Kavanaugh is with him. Comes in over the blue line. Off the arrow into the corner. Kavanaugh in there to help out. And Heiston, a third man in as well. Here's McCarthy. Gets it up ahead. Lundmark hops it over the blue line. Reed going to the front of the net. Heatley up there as well. Alfiero moves it up along the boards. Fired back in by Biron. That was just tipped wide. Here comes Kavanaugh. Shovels it up ahead. Heiston moving across the line. Works it up ahead. Pafe. Stewart with a shot. That was knocked down. Here's Reed. And he'll bounce it up to the corner. Canada on a change. We've played just over 8 minutes of this opening period. Nice pace to this game. And it's 0-0. Canada and the U.S. A win or a tie for Canada, and they get a much easier draw in the quarterfinal. If they lose, they would have to face Sweden, and that will be tough. Single game, sudden death. Here's Hall. Moves it up ahead. Hilbert in over the blue line. He dropped it off. Working across is Nowick. Right in there. Nowick trying to stuff it through, but he just ran out of reality. Got in a little bit too close, and there was nowhere to go. Chouinard coming up after it, along with Pettinger. That's broken up. And Jolson back the other way. Up to Hall. Hall one-on-one there against Rossiter. And they lock horns along the boards. Puck cleared out by Jackman. Good. Here's Chouinard. No! Pass across. Ribeiro waiting. Fired a shot, a low one. Right on goal, stopped and held by Sauvé. We played 9 minutes and 11 seconds. Ribeiro with a nice little rush there.
Over time, I've been building my castle of love. I've gone much too far for you now to say that I've got to throw my castle away. And maybe true if you would believe, you too might be overjoyed.
Well, the U.S. get a scoring opportunity here, folks, but I want to show you exactly what Jeff Jackson was talking about. Watch you left. He just doesn't give any room here. Now watch, he's standing up. He's big in the net. Now watch it right there. When he's in close, he comes in here. Where's he going to shoot here? He's going to have to really roof it to get upstairs in those top corners. And there was no chance in that close. Ouellette just read it perfectly. But when he needed to be, he was standing real tall in the net. Then he went down and took the corners away, the lower corner.
Sabo dumps off. Janik in the corner, and he was upended. And the U.S. will go on the power play. It is going to be Michael Ryder heading to the box. And we will get our first look at an odd man situation in this game.
Ryder ends up hauling his man down. Gets it for elbowing is the call. He got his elbow up high and then took him down, but it was the elbow was the initial infraction. Hauling down Janik at the time. Janik from the University of Maine. The Buffalo Draft.
Canada's penalty killing has been great in this tournament. They've been shorthanded for a total of 37 minutes and 45 seconds. Have not given up a goal. And the U.S. on the power play has scored 2 power play goals. They've had a man advantage for just over 22 minutes.
When the U.S. does get set up here in the offensive zone, watch for that screen setting up. Ouellette's going to have a tough time fighting for the opportunity to see the puck.
This is Jordan Leopold. Works it up ahead.
Have a look! Have a look!
Janik in over the line. Works it across. Jolson moving in. Gets in deep, and he's kept to the outside for the time being. Jolson over to Leopold. Works it up ahead. Hilbert. Back for Leopold. Wrist shot. That was tipped and went off the post. Picked up by Hilbert. Hilbert trying to slide it down low. Heiston up there, number 27, battling away. Here's Hall. Back for Heiston. Over to Hilbert. U.S. working it around nicely here. Leopold gets it up. Hilbert trying to get it down to the corner. 1 minute to go in the U.S. power play. Kevin! Leopold with a wrist shot. Back of the net. Heiston tried to quick pass it there in front. Malhotra gets it, but not out. Jolson with a nice play to keep it in. On the second effort, Malhotra finally gets it out of the zone. And Canada with a much-needed change to the penalty killers.
Malhotra sacrificed the body in order to get the puck out of the danger.
Hilbert gets it up ahead. Here's Levesque moving in deep. Levesque takes the scenic route. Works it back to the line for Jolson. Puck fired there by Hainsey. Didn't get much on that shot. Tate back to the blue line. Hainsey with another shot. Ouellette stopped it. Rebound chopped wide. Here's Tate. Works it back. Jolson to Hainsey. Shoots. Rebound just knocked wide. Here's Tate. 5 seconds left in the power play. Hainsey over for Joseph. Fires one. That doesn't make it to the net. Penalized player is back on, and play whistle down. An interference penalty coming up, and it will go against the U.S. A Canadian power play when we come back.
McDonald's has these retro hockey cards out right now. They include rookie cards of hockey greats like Paul Kariya, Jaromir Jagr. I'm very touched they recognize me in this way. I know my teammates are very proud of me too. I know that. I can feel it.
Retro hockey cards featuring rookie cards of the greatest players in the game, including this year's newest stars. 69 cents with any Fry purchase, plus a chance to win autographed NHL merchandise.
Canada will get its first power play chance of the game. Their penalty killing has been outstanding. Their power play hasn't. In 21 minutes and 11 seconds of power play time in the tournament heading into this game, only 1 goal.
Watch Levesque right here. This is where he ends up pulling the feet right out from underneath of Matthew Biron. That's actually a retaliation penalty on his part because he got dumped, he felt, before when he was trying to screen in front of the net. That's what got the U.S. in trouble in their last game, when they took too many retaliation penalties.
And this is Richards. Richards will play back at the blue line in the power play. He's done a decent job back there, although Canada's power play, as I mentioned, hasn't been great. He's back there with McCarthy. Ribeiro, Bell, and Chouinard up front. And a puck fired down the ice by the U.S. 1:35 to go in Canada's power play. What's been the big problem with Canada's power play?
Well, Paul, you know, penalty killing has been pretty good in this whole tournament. Defense is #1 when it comes to what teams are concerned about. So I'm not sure that it's been that what's wrong with Canada's power play as much as the penalty killing for other teams has been just as solid in a lot of ways as Canada's had.
There's McCarthy, gets it up for Ribeiro, bounces to the corner for Bell, knocked away by Leopold.
And the goaltending's also been strong in every game.
Chouinard trying to move him through. Yeah, it is goaltending and defense that wins this tournament year after year. That's an icing call on Canada. 55 seconds to go on their power play. We played 12:32 of the first period.
Nike Skills Development Camps encourage minor hockey players to improve their fundamental skills of the game. Program coaching manuals provide easy, progressive techniques to teach our next generation of great players. Nike, proud supporters of the CHA.
'Tis the season, the Insight.com Bowl, the Liberty Bowl, lots of football coming up today on TSN starting at 1:30 Eastern. And lots of hockey still to come from Skellefteå, Sweden. The World Junior Championship continues. Canada and the U.S. in a good one so far here. Canada on the power play. Jason Spezza getting some time on the power play here. He's got the puck now. Lundmark up for Reed. Back for Lundmark. Spezza backing towards the front of the goal. Lundmark back to Kinch. Lundmark waiting. Reed to Lundmark. And a little bit of grease on the puck there, but he gets a hold of it. And a penalty coming up. And it is a tripping call. And it is going to go against the U.S., I believe.
No question. Heiston's going to get the penalty for dumping Spezza right in front of the net. Spezza did an excellent job. When he got his opportunity on the power play in the previous game, he ended up going out there, and he ended up doing a great job screening. He did exactly the same thing. As soon as he got his opportunity, he went right to the net. Now watch. Watch Heiston right here. Takes the feet right out from underneath of him. So Spezza holding his ground, didn't take a penalty. Heiston did. Good screen job.
Easier to hold your ground when you're 6'3", 195 pounds, and he's only 16. He's still going to fill out.
And he screened him perfectly as well. If you want a clinic in screening, that was it. Back to the goaltender, make sure you see where the puck is and get yourself in the perfect angle between the shooter and the goaltender.
Richards comes in over the blue line. 10 seconds left in the 2-man advantage for Canada. And then they will continue on a 1-man advantage. Richards gets it up. Lundmark drops it down low. Reed looking. Back for Lundmark. Lundmark shoots. Sauve stops it and no rebound. Sauve does a good job of controlling the rebounds. There was none there off of that Lundmark shot. Lundmark has shot well for Canada in this tournament. He has 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists in the game against Slovakia. He was dangerous, showing nice skill in around the net on that goal, but the prettiest one came on a penalty shot against his teammate from the Moose Jaw Warriors. Nice little move there to score. Now back to live action. Canada on a power play. Lundmark winds up, shoots. Had a beat in the short side. The rebound was chopped towards the goal, but knocked aside. McCarthy gets it up. Here's Reed. And the puck comes out. Richards has it. 1:15 to go on the man advantage. McCarthy, look out, almost turned it over to Dunlop. And Richards has to come back to help his partner out. Richards in over the line. Forging ahead. Richards centers it. Spezza chopped at it. Puck spinning wide. Richards back to the line. Biron moving it up. Here's Richards. Looking. Gets it across. Lundmark. Back out. Puck fired there. It's stopped by Sauvé. Can't hang on though. And the Americans finally get it out. 30 seconds left in the power play for Canada.
Canada's done a good job of putting that puck to the net anyway.
Spezza fires it in. Hainsey drills it, and Biron with a hot shot, not quite able to keep it in. Got his stick on it, but there was lots behind that clearing attempt. Bell trying to get it up along the boards. Puck knocked down. Orpik after it. Now Ribeiro being pursued there by Orpik. Penalized player back on. A couple of good kills by the U.S. Teams at even strength. Pass over to Brooks Orpik. Now Ribeiro. Back in over the blue line. He's got Chouinard with him. Ribeiro tried to step by Hainsey and lost the puck. And here comes Hall on the way back with Hilbert. Hall shoots, and Hilbert was one stride ahead on the left wing. The play whistled down.
For every guy who'd rather swing a club than dance in one. For every guy who's ever prepared a gourmet meal. For every guy who knows exactly why they're man's best friend. And for every guy who appreciates the benefits of being a guy, we'd like to introduce you to the Dodge Durango. It has the most cargo space, towing capacity, and power of any SUV in its class. The Dodge Durango. It's good to be a guy.
Welcome back. The United States had a couple of injured defensemen in their game against Finland, chiefly Jeff Gilson, the big University of Michigan product, who also is the San Jose Sharks first-round pick. He blocked the shot and was very gingerly coming off the ice after that game, but he's played a ton here in the first period, although the Canadians are giving it to him every chance they get, playing very physically with him and verbally abusing him, asking him how that ankle is feeling.
See, McKenzie's gone back to the winter coat down there between the benches.
Don't blame him. Don't blame him. Jeff Gilson is 6'3", 219 pounds.
Bob is right down between the benches. And unlike most of the other games, you understand what's being said on both sides of it. Battling up in the corner, Malhotra trying to twist away from the checking of Janik. Here's Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh double team there along the boards. Hook back to Inman. Now Janik. Starts out, he's got Kavanaugh up in the neutral zone. Couldn't get it to him. Picked off. This is Tyler Bout. Bout still with it. Inman lost his stick there. Pardon me, Janik lost his stick. And a penalty coming up against Canada. Manny Malhotra tried to get cute, and he pulled down Mike Stewart. Unfortunately, the referee had a front row seat.
For over 20 years, Air Canada has sponsored Canadian hockey, from World Championships to 5 regional midget events and the national final, the Air Canada Cup. Each year, Air Canada is pleased to present scholarships to the top players at these tournaments. Air Canada, proud supporters of the CHA.
Manny Malhotra will sit in the penalty box right now, and I know he's upset at himself. As the captain of this hockey club, he prides himself in not taking bad penalties, undisciplined penalties, and this isn't one of his finest occasions. You're right, Paul. He thought he got away with it, but unfortunately the referee had a good angle on it.
Oh, is that a nice little tug in the shoulder as you're backing away from a guy to throw him off balance. Puck up into the corner, and the U.S. on the power play. Leopold up there deep. Here's Hilbert. Hilbert trying to set up. Hall is parked in front of the net. He's the U.S. captain and a strong player. Hilbert gets it down low. Nowak. Back for Hilbert. Hilbert down low to Nowak. Nowak comes out. Back for Hilbert. Little confusion there, but Hall gets it back to Hilbert. Out to Nowak. For Leopold. Leopold. Up for Hilbert. Looking, shooting. Willett stopped that rebound. Hall trying to get to it, and it's finally snagged and held by Willett. That was Nowak who had the last good chance. Hall had the first one, and Willett stopped them both.
Adam Hall's tough to move in front of that net, too. He's a very intense player. He's 6'3", 200 pounds. He's a Nashville draft pick. He's from Michigan State. He's an intense player. The players really like him, too. So does the coaching staff. He's a real quality person. His assistant coach, Jim Johnson, the assistant coach of the U.S. team, I should say, who played 13 years in the National Hockey League, knows what it takes to play in the National Hockey League, said this guy is a surefire National Hockey Leaguer because of his intensity. He's a power forward. He's got good strength, and because of the quality of his character, he will play in the National Hockey League.
Here comes Canada down with a 2-on-1. It's Reed. Moving in. Shoots. Oh, what a stop by Sauvé. Gave him the glove and took it away. Back out. Hainsey fires it in. What a snag that was on Reed. Point blank. Puck comes over. Hainsey with a shot. That drifted over top of the net. This is Heiston. Down for Tate. Back to Heiston. 28 seconds left in the U.S. power play. Up here. Heiston looking, waiting, works it out to Tate. Back to the line. Hainsey to Tate. Takes a shot, gets it down low, and play whistle down. And they're moving the face-off outside of the blue line. It was a U.S. player who skated through the crease. Levesque put his skate in the crease. That gets an immediate whistle, and they move the draw out.
After Canada's first game, they weren't satisfied with their play along the boards, especially in the third period. Well, that puck came right off the boards. They were able to take it at 2-on-1. And watch Sauvé here, though. What great patience Sauvé had. He didn't go down. He didn't commit himself early. He just plain and simple didn't give Reed much to shoot at. And then when Reed thought that he did, as you pointed out, Paul, Sauvé just took that glove side right away from him. That top corner, he teased him with it, and then boom, took it away from him.
Still 7 seconds left in the power play for the U.S. Hainsey fires it in. Ofiero knocks it down. A rolling puck. Didn't get much of a shot away. Malhotra out of the box, and here comes Canada. Reed was up there at the line, but couldn't get the pass. He was trying to sneak through the middle. Dunlop in over the blue line. Coming up. Up there with Inman. Kavanaugh stepping up. This is Malhotra. Bangs it around to the corner. Inman coming over after it. Having to contend with McCarthy. And the puck cleared out. This is Gilson. 1:05 to go in this opening period. 0-0. Canada and the U.S. Canada needs a win or a tie to pick up the easier draw in the quarterfinals. If they win, they play Kazakhstan. They tie, they play Switzerland. If they lose, it is Sweden in the quarterfinals.
But I got to think that Claude Julien has got to be pretty happy with his team's performance in this first period, with the exception of obviously not scoring any goals. But as far as getting his team into this game, they've had good jump. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to start off this hockey game with good jump, with good intensity. Get those legs moving, and that they did right from the very opening face-off. And so it's been a pretty intense 20 minutes, well, 19 minutes so far, Paul, but they have really come to play, but so will the U.S. The U.S. we might look for tiring us, though, as this game goes on. 4th game in 6 nights. Their coaches were concerned about that. Remember, these are college players that are used to playing 2 games max a week.
Orpik got it up around the boards. 35 seconds left in the period. Puck comes loose in front. Pushing at it, there was Lundmark. He was basically on one knee. Here's Hilbert. Up ahead to Hall. Now Heatley. Striding back in, he has Lundmark with him. Dishes it ahead, and just a little bit too far for Lundmark to close the gap. 10 seconds to go in the period. Heatley up there to forecheck. Bouncing his man Gilson there in the corner. And Heatley gets bounced. And time runs out. In period number 1, a spirited first period. Canada and the U.S. What else would you expect? And they are tied at 0 in this very important game here at the World Junior Hockey Championship. First intermission coming up. Gord, what's on tap?
All right, Paul, coming up at our first intermission, Bob McKenzie will join us, Jason Spezza in Canadian Classics, and we'll ask the Canadian players their thoughts on Y2K, which is now just hours away. No score after 20 minutes. TSN's live coverage of the 2000 World Junior Hockey Championship continues right after this.
I am the Rocky Mountains. 100 million years I have stood here. This I know. Lead with the left, follow with the right. Buy low, sell high. Look for windows of opportunity. Take the road less traveled. Keep your stick on the ice. The grass really is greener on the other side. And always maintain an open door policy.
Coors Light, the car, the Rockies.
Golden Globe Award nominee, Best Picture, Golden Globe Award nominee, Best Director, and Golden Globe Award nominee, Best Actor, Denzel Washington, The Hurricane. Now in select theaters.
Let's go. Get ready for a really extreme winter. New cycle ski available at bike shops across the country. It's only $2.99.
The Royal Bank Financial Group has developed the Toonie Toss fundraising program, a fun way to raise money for minor hockey. Toss a toonie from the stands. One nearest the target wins great prizes. Proceeds from the event go directly to your community hockey program. The Royal Bank, proud supporters of the CHA.
When the male is in pursuit of the female, the slightest scent of unpleasantness may send the female running. Thus, I recommend Right Guard Clear Gel or Clear Stick. Antiperspirant protection from odor and wetness that glides on clear with no flaky white stuff. How far is the female?
A good 70 yards, mate.
I've made longer passes than that before. Right Guard, Clear Gel, and Clear Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
What time is it? Am I too late? Where's the remote? I'm gonna miss my show.
With Star Choice, you'll see what you want to watch when you want to watch it. We'll air your shows from different time zones, so you can watch when it's convenient for you. It's part of our program promise. Star Choice. It's your television.
That's it. I'm going manual. Great. That's just great.
The winter wonderland of Skellefteå, Sweden. What else would you expect for a northern community? Finally getting cold here after an unusual, unseasonable warm stretch right around Christmas. Welcome back to Skellefteå. Our man Bob McKenzie between the benches joins me now. Bob, I've often said that people in North America who say that the NHL should go to the international ice surface should be sentenced to a year of having to watch big ice hockey over here. Think about this, Bob. 9 games have been played in the A pool so far. 36 goals scored. That's just 4 a game. The United States has scored 4 goals in 10 periods. This big ice hockey just doesn't seem like it creates more offense to me anyway.
Well, at the risk of getting big ice advocate Paul Romanuk running down and taking the microphone out of my hand and stating the cause for big ice, I will tell you this. the combination of big ice along with no center red line for the purposes of offside, you can take that and stick it where the sun don't shine, which would be to suggest right about here that we only get about 3 or 4 hours of daylight. After having watched this tournament with the red line out for 2 consecutive years last year on the smaller North American size ice in Winnipeg, and here again, big ice doesn't create more offense. Big ice creates more paranoia, that you'll get beat by good offense, and therefore the teams in this tournament, whether they're North American or whether they're European, are laying back and playing more of the trap than they ever would on a smaller ice surface. There are more scoring opportunities and more conflict in a smaller ice surface and a much more entertaining brand of hockey.
Let's not forget that the trap was invented in Russia and perfected right here in Sweden. Interesting to note in that opening period, Philippe Sauvé, an interesting pick and goal for the U.S., but he was pretty good, Bob.
He was outstanding, especially on the save on Brandon Reed. Terrific glove save, and he's been excellent in the first period, and it certainly looks early on anyways as though Canada's facing a very hot goaltender, one who applies his trade in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, and the gamble that Coach Jeff Jackson went with appears to be paying off in the early going anyway.
Bob, you wrote in the Hockey News this week about how the game is changing internationally, especially in relation to Canada and the United States. The guys talked about in the first period. You've got players who are basically the sons of Canadians. Lauren Henning's son, of course, plays for the U.S. Bob Sauvé's son, but Eric Chouinard for Canada could play for the U.S. He was born in Atlanta.
Well, it's an interesting phenomenon, and I guess one that was inevitable given that so many Canadians have gone south and now make their home down there. And Jeff Jackson's talking about the explosion of talent coming out of places like Long Island and St. Louis. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out the reason is because there's a lot of former National Hockey League players who are now involved in the minor hockey programs. Jeff Jackson said, we're getting all these great young goaltenders out of the St. Louis minor hockey system. Why is that? Why? Lindsay Middlebrook, former National Hockey League goaltender and a Canadian, is down there working with all the goaltenders in the St. Louis system. Guys like John Tonelli and Jerry Hart, former New York Islanders, are running successful minor hockey programs in the Long Island area. So all of a sudden we're seeing lots of players going to U.S. college and participating in the national junior program for the U.S. from those areas. And Jeff Jackson expects the same sort of phenomena in time will happen in places like Dallas, South Florida, and Phoenix. So it's maybe bad news for Canadians in the long haul, but an inevitable news nonetheless.
At least we know that Mike McKenzie from Whitby, Ontario, will always play for Canada. Bob, keep your head down there between the benches. Our live coverage of the 2000 World Junior Hockey Championship on TSN will continue. Boy, you gotta love shopping to do it outdoors here, don't you?
My hockey hero is probably Marilyn Mew, just because of the way he plays and just the way he dominated the game when he played, and just his offensive talent is phenomenal. For me to play for Team Canada has obviously always been a goal of mine, and I think every kid sits at home watching the World Juniors on Christmas time, and it'd be an honor just to get a chance to put on the red and white and represent the country. Well, my role model is probably my father, just because he's the one that's always persevered, helped me get through things, and just would always help me out along the way.
So, Wayne, you're retired. What's next for the Great One?
I'm thinking about wrestling.
Wrestling? Wrestling? Well, who'd have thunk it? Hey, Great One.
Uh-oh.
Now there's a bicep. Has Wayne seen that?
Come here.
Here comes trouble.
Hi, Wayne.
Hey, Brett.
How do you like your retirement?
Do you want points? Want to win in Durango? Got an SO Extra card? So use it. Now you can win and earn at SO. Swipe the card, win, and earn.
Chapters.ca. Just you and a few million gift ideas.
Welcome to my Hall of Fame. home of the quickest, most awesome player to ever hit the ice. The place where with one unexpected move, I can single-handedly bring thousands to their feet. What's your dream?
Hi, I'm Wayne Gretzky. During the week of January 15th to January 22nd, 600,000 Canadian members will receive a package. And this package from the CHA will be a CHA logo patch that you can sew on either your jersey or your hockey pants. So be sure to check your mailbox in January for your package. Remember, wear your logo with pride. Be part of the great Canadian team, the CHA.
I'm a little worried about that, but you know, I've talked to some people and they're pretty reassuring that you know, everything's taken care of. So I just sort of go with the flow. Hopefully nothing will happen. I'm confident in the system, and the computer should be okay. Y2K, I don't even know what all that stuff's all about, so I'm not worried about it too much.
I just believe that nothing big is gonna happen in Y2K.
Y2K, you know, I don't think it's really going to bother me too much. I don't think anything major is going to happen, computer crashes and all that, so I think I'll just take it like every other year. It'll be interesting to see what happens during the Y2K. I think, I don't know, like many other guys probably, I hope I don't just get stranded over there and make it home safely. I haven't really thought about it much. The focus has been on playing in Sweden, and I haven't thought too much about it, but now that you brought it up, I'm sure I'll be thinking about it now.
No, there's life before computers, and there'll be life after if everything goes out. The only thing I'm worrying is my championship on my computer, the hockey championship. If the bug is there, maybe it's going to be done.
I've never really thought about it or taken any special precautions. I'm pretty confident we'll be all right.
I'm not too worried about it. I think some people will go a little crazy and think the world's going to end, but I don't think it's going to end.
F-Series, Canada's best-selling line of trucks for 33 years. Ford, for now, forever.
Welcome back. Happy New Year from Skellefteå, or Skellefteå, or one of the other 6 pronunciations we toyed with before the start of the tournament. It's 0-0, and the teams at even strength start this second period. This is Barrett Jackman for Canada. Dunlop fires it back in for the U.S. Jackman back to fetch. Up ahead, Rossiter flings that one into the U.S. zone, but didn't get across center, and it's an icing call against Canada. First period scoring summary brought to you by Gatorade. Is it in you? Short summary.
Well, for Claude Julien, The shots on net, 12-9 for Canada, indicated one thing, that they're going to have a tough time against the last-minute decision of Team USA's goaltending. Sauvé was outstanding in that first period of play. He did everything that was expected of him by the coaching staff. He came up big, and he seems to know these Canadian junior shooters.
Orpik got it across. Jillison with a swing and a miss. Here's Smith. Up along the boards for Lundmark. Up ahead, and Reed again was just lurking in behind the U.S. defender, Jillson. Great wheels on Brandon Reed, number 25. Puck fire there through the crease. Orpik fires it across. Jillson. Wilson again. That's steered aside by Ouellet. Lundmark picks it up. Puck bouncing there to Reed, and he will start back for Canada. Gives to Lundmark. Lundmark coming up. He has Heatley and Reed with him. Lundmark with a wrist shot, and that is just grabbed and held by Sauvé. Between the boards, brought to you by Molson Canadian. It's a Canadian game. Canada winning the battles and the face-offs, but still 0-0.
Well, they were winning the little things in the period, and that's very important over the course of a hockey game. Here we've got Canada with the opportunity coming up on the power play.
Brooks Orpik, the #1 ranked U.S. college player, heads to the penalty box, and he gets called for slashing.
His second year at Boston College, and he's a big man too, at 6'3", 224 pounds.
So Canada with a chance in the power play. They have only one power play goal in the tournament. 0 for 2 in this game with 4 shots. It's Ribeiro, Chouinard, and Bell up front. McCarthy and Richards back at the blue line. This has emerged as the #1 power play unit for Canada. Richards back to Ribeiro. Over to McCarthy. Fired one low and wide. Jillson gets it around for Jordan Leopold. He couldn't hold on to it. Here's Bell now. Back to the line. Ribeiro over to McCarthy. Fires it across, and it just bounced by Richards. And the puck cleared down the ice by Levesque. 1:30 to go on the man advantage for Canada. Ribeiro comes in. Leaves for Bell. Back for McCarthy. Tight ropes along the line. Works it up. Chouinard shooting. And that caught the shoulder of Sauvé. Here's Richards. Works it over. McCarthy. Tried to fire one through. Sabo got his stick in front of it, but it's not cleared. Here's Richards waiting. Back to McCarthy. Up for Chouinard. Richards winds up with his shot. That's stopped. Rebound knocked to the corner. Ribeiro picks it up. Canada, good pressure here in this power play. See if they can get another shot. Richards fires one wide. McCarthy comes up to Chouinard. Back for McCarthy. 45 seconds left in the power play for Canada. McCarthy lost it in his skates, but kept it in. Richards waits. Passes it across. Chouinard couldn't handle the bouncing pass. Chouinard after it. Janik watching him. Puck comes out. Chouinard scores! With the big shot, and Canada gets a power play goal, and they take the 1-0 lead.
You know, I could tell early in that power play that Chouinard, when he was set up, he was looking to go high. He missed on the first occasion, but again, he plays against Sauvé in the Quebec Junior Hockey League, and Chouinard knows that with Sauvé, who goes down in that butterfly, if you're going to beat him any place, you're going to have to probably beat him right up in the top corners. Chouinard just teed that up and rang it.
And that is Chouinard's second goal of the tournament. It's funny, I came to the Canadian practice yesterday and was standing right down behind the net watching the guys take shooting practice, and Chouinard came in and just wired a couple right upstairs, just like that.
He's got a great shot. Montreal's first pick in '98. Last year he had 50 goals, 59 assists in 62 games. He is a sniper. And that was a perfect shot on his part because he knew exactly where he wanted to put it as soon as he teed it up.
Canada's second power play goal of the tournament, their first goal of this game. Pass up ahead, Patrick Foley into the corner. Oh, does he slam into his man? He ran over Kyle Rossiter. Malhotra coming back the other way. Whizzes one wide. Rebound comes out. Henning gets it up ahead. Foley couldn't knock it down. Rossiter clearing it in. And icing is called on Canada. Chouinard gets the goal. McCarthy and Ribeiro picking up the assists. And Canada has a 1-0 lead.
The Royal Bank Financial Group has developed the Toonie Toss fundraising program, a fun way to raise money for minor hockey. Toss a toonie from the stands. One nearest the target wins great prizes. Proceeds from the event go directly to your community hockey program. The Royal Bank, proud supporters of the CHA.
'Tis the season, old rivalries and new beginnings. Kick off the Millennium celebrations with a College Bowl feast. Back-to-back, Insight.com and Liberty Bowls. See it, live it, TSN.
Second period is brought to you by Ford Focus 2000. Expect more.
Well, I talked about Chouinard having the opportunity previous to, and he rang it right off of the crossbar. He was looking for that top corner, and you could see with that overhead angle that he hit the crossbar, but he was looking for the top corners on Sauvé. He found it the next time around.
Couldn't get it out. This is Nowak up there for the U.S. Nowak all the way back to the blue line. Tried to get it over to Orpik. It was a weak pass, and that allowed Lundmark to poke it out. And Heatley tried to keep the puck in, but it came out offside called on Canada. Here's Bob McKenzie trying to keep warm between the two benches. What's up, Bob?
Well, the young man who scored that first goal for Team Canada, birthplace, Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, the son of Guy Chouinard. When Guy Chouinard was playing for the Calgary Flames, Eric Chouinard had an opportunity a couple of years ago. The Team USA National Junior Program spoke to him about coming and playing for the Americans. He says he never really considered it. Represented Quebec in under-17 competition and Canada in under-18 and now the World Junior.
And he was coached by Claude Julien on that Canadian under-18 team. They went 5-1 and won a gold medal. That was in 1997. Orpik rolls it around back of the goal. Gilson gets it to Hilbert. Long shot. Willett bats that one away. No problem. That's Heatley's. Has lost his stick there along the boards. He lost it way back in the U.S. zone, so he just wanted to eat that puck and get a face-off.
And Canada know that controlling the boards is a key part of winning hockey games, and especially against aggressive teams like the Americans. Claude Julien after game number 1. I talked earlier in this hockey game about him in practice the following day after the third period when they gave up a 3-0 lead. Well, they gave up 2 goals anyway in that first game in the third period. They really worked on controlling the boards in practice the next day. And today, it's also helped them because not only controlling the boards and chipping it out, but using the boards as though they are an extra man. And that's what happened earlier on a 2-on-1 opportunity.
And breaking down is Brad Richards. Comes in. He's got Roulier with him. Tried to get it out in front, but it was knocked away. Ryder steps up into the play. Bell is parked in front. Work down around back of the goal where Bell is there to take it. Tries to get it out. Ryder back up for Bell. Bell comes away with that puck. Tried to center it. Richards to Ryder. Right there. And was in very close. And I don't think had anywhere to put that puck. Would have needed a lucky bounce. Gord Miller is standing by with Eric Heiden.
Yes, Paul, that Eric Heiden, the 5-time Olympic gold medalist who is now the team doctor for the U.S. How did you get from the speed skating oval to the World Junior Championship with the U.S.?
Well, it's been a long time. 20 years ago that I skated, and after that, one of my big goals was to become a physician, and I always wanted to represent and take care of some of the athletes, Olympic athletes, and this year I had the opportunity, and, no questions about it, boy. When that came by, I picked it up, no problem.
I think hockey players are always amazed at the stamina and strength of speed skaters. What surprises you about hockey players?
Their overall strength. They got good eye-hand coordination. They got the ability to start and stop. More importantly, they can turn to the right. Yes, speed skater turn to the right. like they've never been on skates.
And they do wear funny skates, too. Thanks for talking to me.
Sure.
Well, most guys can cut to the right anyways. I looked at the list. It's Eric Heiden, and puck fired wide there. Gord had the perfect in there. That's exactly what I said. That Eric Heiden? Pettinger. Rolling it back. Didn't get it back deep enough, and puck hopping around loose there for a moment. Jackman coming out. On the way up with Chouinard. Chouinard steaming up to the corner, and play whistle down. A penalty coming up against the U.S. It's a high sticking call. And Canada will go on the power play. It is Barrett Heiston who will head to the box.
He was asking, who, me? Well, for the second time in his hockey game, Barrett Heiston is heading off to the penalty box. He's one of their really intense, tenacious checkers, and this time he got his stick up way too high. He was coming back right here, and you can see he got his stick carelessly up high, and as a result picked up the high sticking penalty.
High sticking call of 5:20, and Canada with one power play goal in this tournament. Get the #1 power play unit out there to start, and that is Brandon Reed at center. Richards and McCarthy back at the blue line. Lundmark and Spezza up front, so a bit of a bend in the old lineup. Here's Lundmark up after it. Works it back. McCarthy, top of the point to Lundmark. Back for McCarthy. Lundmark moves in. Had some room on the short side, but that was a good play by Janik to get in front of the shot. And now it's knocked out. Hilbert eating up some time. Carried back in by Richards. Up to Spezza. Moving in. Spezza fired one. Had no room there on the short side. Sauvé stands up. And he's a big goaltender. Doesn't give you much to shoot at.
Well, that's the other thing, though, Paul. On power play opportunities, and percentages are very low in this tournament, always are, is there isn't much room to shoot. And when you've got great goaltenders in the middle clogged up, not much room.
Here comes Reed, breaking in, shooting, rebound, just fired wide. An open net was there for Lundmark after Richards had broken through.
And when you do have room, you should hit the target.
Here's Reed back of the goal. Reed looking. Centers it. Lundmark fired one. He hit the post that time. He was getting closer. He missed the net last time. He hit the post there. Maybe the next one will go in for Lundmark. Puck cleared up by McCarthy. 35 seconds left in Canada's power play.
A 2-minute power play, if you get one good scoring opportunity, that might be about it. Canada's already had it.
Bell lost the puck, fired off the boards by Brett Henning, and it goes out of play. 23 seconds to go on the power play for Canada. It was a great burst of speed from Brandon Reed that set the table for Jamie Lundmark.
And when you move the puck around well, and Canada has that ability, then what you're trying to do is get that open opportunity. Watch all of this space right here, folks. All of a sudden, that puck came loose, came right out to Lundmark, and Reed, who had the initial shot, the rebound came off of Sauvé. Lundmark had nobody covering him, and that was a surprise in itself, but not to hit the open net. It was a shocker to him and us.
Lundmark, Canada's leading scorer in the tournament. 2 goals, 2 assists. Puck comes out. Trying to fire it through there with Chouinard. Chouinard has Canada's goal in this game. Here's Biron. Gets it up. Ribeiro to Chouinard. Penalized player is back on. Chouinard fires a shot, and Sauvé with another impressive glove save. Hot shot from Chouinard, and Sauvé was right there. He's been good.
Well, Bell was setting up the screen in front, but Chouinard was going for that top corner once again. That's the spot he was looking for, folks. He didn't get it. Sauvé with that quick glove save once again, but Chouinard knew exactly where the cookie jar was. He was rewarded earlier for going upstairs, and so he was going right back for some more.
Malhotra up in the faceoff against Dunlop. Here comes Inman out for the U.S. Pinch muscled there in the corner. And the puck cleared out by Nielsen. Malhotra was looking for it. Played 7 minutes and 50 seconds in the second period. Canada leads 1-0. Eric Chouinard with the goal on the power play at the 3-minute mark of the second frame. And that's an icing call on Canada. TSN, Canada's only network for international hockey. And we will have the Women's World Hockey Championship coming up in April. It will be held in Mississauga and surrounding communities. Number on the bottom of your screen is the number to call for more information and tickets.
Well, some of the fans from Canada who are waving a big flag, or else they're being very patriotic, or else they're just trying to use that flag to stay warm, one or the other. Because it's freezing in this arena, and it's freezing outside. A little warmer, though, than it was in Winnipeg, I might say, last year. But what a great event that was, and the folks from Manitoba sure did us proud.
Wilson shooting right on. Puck loose there at the side, and it is taken out of harm's way by Ryder. Long pass up. He tried to find Pettinger up there in the neutral zone. Here's Bell. Works it around for Jackman. Now Ryder. Rossiter up ahead for Jackman, turning in over the line. Jackman to the corner. Gilson trying to get a hold of him. Pettinger up along the boards. Ryder knifing it in. Bell trying to get to that puck. Gilson, he's knocked down. Penalty coming up against Canada. Winchester with the puck. He clears it out. And play is called. It is a high sticking call, or perhaps a boarding call. The puck was tapped with a high stick, and now the referee signals the boarding.
You know, after Mark Bell came out of his own end, I was hoping that he would end up going straight to the bench, and I think Claude Julien probably wished that he had have gone straight to the bench. Way back in Canada's end, Mark Bell was guilty right here. Now watch what Bell does. He was looking for trouble. He punched the American player when he was down, and from that point onwards, he was kind of looking for trouble to a degree. He was trying to play aggressively and intently because he knew that the Americans were also after him. That was Winchester that took a run at him, but I could see this one coming. Mark Bell took a run at his man from behind and ends up with a penalty for it.
He gets called for boarding. And the U.S. will go on the power play. They are 0 for 2. They've managed 4 shots on goal during the man advantages.
Jeff Jackson's team felt that they were good and capable of moving that puck. Good blue line. They were a little concerned about their lack of ability scoring up front. They felt they had good intensity and skill, but weren't finishing off well.
Which is unusual for the U.S. team. They've had the tournament scoring leader 2 of the last 3 years. Leopold, top of the point, trying to fire it through. Ofiero back in the net, number 5 for the U.S. Puck rolls out in front, and unfortunately for the Americans, there were 4 guys back in the net trying to get the puck out. That left nobody in front.
You know, they've been lacking offense, Paul, but at the same time, I think this American team has been their best defensive team they've had in years. They really play a system well, kill penalties well.
Hilbert gets it up ahead. Kavanaugh coming in. Works it back. That shot didn't hit the target. And it's cleared up and hits the meshing above the glass, so we get a whistle with 1:05 to go on the U.S. power play.
Our battery lasts 80% longer.
We're 81% longer.
Instead of trash talk, how about some straight talk? Try Rayovac. If you don't think they're just as good, you get your money back. You can't lose. I like that.
Be sure to join us after the game for the TSN Turning Point, brought to you by Rayovac. 1:05 to go in this power play for the U.S. Puck comes back. Leopold works it over. Puck drilled by Gilson. He was going high, or trying to, on Ouellette, but that one got away from him. Kavanaugh out from the bowl, drops it down low. Puck comes out there at the side, and a chance for Tafe. But Ouellette right there with his pad firmly against the post, keeping the puck out. 48 seconds to go on the power play.
And the U.S. have had a fairly good power play, considering power play percentages in this tournament so far. Russia have been one of the best teams with a 25%. Switzerland, surprisingly, have had a very good power play. But the U.S. are better than Sweden, Finland, Czechs, Slovaks, and Canada when it comes to the power play in this tournament.
That's Jeff Tafe, the number 3 ranked college player in the U.S. We were getting a look at there. Had the scoring chance a moment ago.
And again, the power play percentages are down because of the way that they play it here. With that disciplined box, they take away the middle, and great goaltending. Tough to score.
There's Nowak. Trying to control that bouncing puck. Nowak setting it up, works it around back of the goal. Now it comes up around. Jeff Gilson at the line. Bangs it right back up to the corner. 30 seconds left in the U.S. power play. They trail 1-0. Kavanaugh works it back, and it comes outside the line. Leopold has to head back and regroup. Kavanaugh there along the boards. The linesman got in the way. Closing off the lane for Kavanaugh. Now Kavanaugh lost the puck at the line. Delayed offside in the U.S. And it's cleared down the ice by Pettinger. We're even. Biron clears it in. Penalized player back on. The team's at even strength. We have played 10:59 of the second period. Canada leads by a goal.
If you looked into the minds of the Taurus 2000 engineers, you'd see what they were thinking. Power adjustable pedals, a personal safety system with sensors that think about how to activate seatbelts and airbags. They were also thinking that a Taurus this safe should be an exhilarating ride. The Ford Taurus 2000. Good thinking.
100 years of Canadian sports, all 12 episodes tonight. Starts at 8:30 Eastern Time. Look at some of the Canadian parents, girlfriends, sisters,
and
brothers.
Thank God they're here, as well as the NHL scouts, because otherwise we might not have any people in the stand. This has been poorly attended here for the games in this pool.
Yeah, they've been getting great crowds down the road in Umeå for the Swedish games especially. There's Reed there at the side trying to get it in front. Lundmark escapes over after it. Now Heatley pokes it down for Reed. Looking in front. He had McCarthy coming up there. Lundmark after the puck, battled and got a shot, but it was wide. Rebound comes out. Rolled away from Heatley. Puck rolling around. Lundmark couldn't get to it.
Orpik did a great job of tying up Brandon Reed's stick.
Here comes Lundmark, trying to muscle his way by Dunlop. And a nice job by Connor Dunlop to keep the door shut on Lundmark, although in the judgment of the referee, he was a little bit overzealous, and a penalty called against Dunlop.
Son of Blake Dunlop, he goes to the University of Notre Dame. This is his first year. A lot of players from the University of Notre Dame, where Davy Poulin is the coach, former National Hockey League player. But Dunlop ends up over-aggressively taking his man down and ends up going to the penalty box for it. Dunlop was one of the 3 tournament most valuable players at the Five Nations tournament in Prague this year. They say if Dunlop only had more size, he might be a real good one. He's only 5'10", 185 pounds.
So Canada for the power play. Lining up with Bell, Swinard, and Ribeiro. Hinch is back at the blue line with Biron. Biron getting it up. Long pass. Ribeiro is starting to cruise down that right side. Now here he comes up to the line. Ribeiro moving in. Heels back. Back to Biron. Up for Ribeiro. Biron over to Kinch. Works it across. Puck across in front. Intended for Chouinard, but Gilson got his stick in the way. Chouinard was cocked and ready to fire. 1:13 to go on the power play for Canada. And the puck turned over there. Nowak just taps it up. Wasn't going to commit himself too much with his team shorthanded. Sabo back to break that up. And a good kill here by the U.S. so far. Ribeiro in over the blue line. There was Chouinard. Bell also up in the play. Ribeiro out to Chouinard. Back for Biron. Up for Chouinard. Down low to Ribeiro. Back to Chouinard. A wrist shot. That was blocked. Janik got in front of it. 35 seconds left in the power play for Canada. Ribeiro moves in over the blue line. Gets it back. McCarthy with it. Back to Ribeiro. Down low, Chouinard. Back out, McCarthy fires one. Nice block by Hall. McCarthy gets it into the corner. 15 seconds left in the power play. Ribeiro faked the shot. Trying to get a look. Down for Chouinard, and that play didn't quite carry off. Here's McCarthy. 5 seconds to go in the power play. McCarthy tried to fire one. That was blocked. Janik got in front of it, and the puck cleared down the ice. Penalized player back on. Solid penalty killing from the U.S. Bouwmeester up to the line for Canada. Rolled away from him. McCarthy up after it. And he just clears it in. 5 minutes and 45 seconds to play in the second period. Jackman clearing it up. Back of the net, Malhotra was looking for it. Chopped away by Henning. Inman. Pressured there by Lundmark along the wall. Now Malhotra up, couldn't get to it. Leopold off the boards, Kavanaugh trying to come out, and the puck hopping over the boards and into the Canadian bench with 5 minutes and 25 seconds to play here in the second period. It's 1-0 Canada.
Well, we talk about this a lot over here in the big ice surface, but you virtually take a big ice surface and make it small when you kill penalties. And that's exactly what Jeff Jackson's team does as well. You might as well just kind of take this space here, folks, and move it all the way around. We're seeing that X. But watch, there's nothing right in front here, folks. I mean, once again, you see this ice surface here? That's about all that they play on. So how do you get that puck through with that many bodies? Well, it's tough for the goaltenders as far as the screen, but at the same time, you're not really taking any advantage of that big ice surface, and that's what you have to do. It's a long ways to the corners for defensemen and a lot farther over to the points, especially when the defensemen are playing wide back in the blue line.
Here's Kinch. Nilsson breaking down the middle. Kinch couldn't get it across to him. And up and over and down goes Tyler Bell. This is Leopold. Bell heads back to the bench, although he looks okay, but he was really nailed on that hit. Pass up ahead. Ryder breaking in, shooting. The puck wouldn't sit for him, but he still got a pretty good shot away. Winchester in over the line. He was bodied there along the glass. And Ryder comes in to hit him. Brad Richards for Canada. Richards coming out, jumps up ahead for Ryder. Bell is with him there at the line. Ryder tried to sashay around Orpik, but lost the puck. Here comes Hilbert, back for the U.S. to Hall. Hall and Hilbert in over the blue line. Hilbert tried to drop it back, and it was broken up there by Richards. Orpik given a bump there by Ryder as he got rid of the puck. But he's okay. Meanwhile, Hilbert after it. Back for Gilson. Here's Jackson. Now Reed coming in. Hilbert stole that. This is Gilson. Off for Nowak. Three minutes and 20 seconds to play in this second period. This is Reed for Canada. Slides it down low into the corner. Heatley back to Reed, centered it. All the way back to the blue line now. Rossiter shoots. That was tipped and then hit the referee's skate. Nowak carrying back for the U.S. And he runs into three Canadian players who then run into one another. At least two of them did. Heatley coming in. Lundmark going for the net. Here's Jackman. Fired a shot. That was rising and blocked it away.
Oh, Jackman had time to look, too. He could see that there was some room. Top corner, stick side of Sauvé. And he's pretty accurate with that shot. He got to the top corner anyway, but Sauvé was able to use his arm to take it away.
Levesque wheeling and dealing back in for the U.S. Tried to drop it back to Tate, but the play's broken up and Lundmark charging back for Canada. Lines up, shoots, and he just sizzled it wide in the corner.
Heading for that same area.
Janet lost the puck. Breaking in for Canada is Pettinger. Drops it back. Oh, Chouinard missed there. Biron taps it up, and that's knocked away. Janet plays it up ahead. Levesque gets it ahead. Tate coming in. And a good job by Biron to get back and make sure that Tate didn't get a good shot.
It was a 3-on-2 for the Americans, but they didn't move quickly enough.
Inman along the boards, looking for a bit of room. And that is a scarce commodity in this game. Pass up intended for Chouinard. Knocked down.
Janet cut that puck down well.
McCarthy in there deep. Dishes off in front. No, he doesn't. He's still got it. McCarthy chased along the boards by Janet. Pettinger in there to help out. This is Pettinger. Stewart badgering him. And the puck was gloved ahead. That's why Ribeiro waited and then finally touched it and got the whistle.
I am the Rocky Mountains. 100 million years I have stood here. This I know. Lead with the left, follow with the right. Buy low, sell high. Look for windows of opportunity. Take the road less traveled. Keep your stick on the ice. The grass really is greener on the other side. And always maintain an open door policy.
Two North American teams, and you can expect some hitting. That was a nice hit there by Connor Dunlop as he caught Tyler Bouck.
There's been some good intensity in this game, some good body checks. Not a whole parade of penalties anyway, but both teams liking, well, the old North American style, where you can still play a good, aggressive hitting game without having to go to the penalty box every shift.
Here's Jackman in over the blue line, clears it in. Bouck after it, being squeezed there by Sabo. Bouck forging ahead along the boards. Getting some support there from Nielsen. Now Bouck back after it. Less than a minute to go in the period. Bouck going after the puck. Ran a little bit of a pick there for Jackman. Bouck still after it. Now Malhotra comes into the mix. Malhotra. Still looking. Come on, head down! Not much room in the corners at all. And finally it comes out. And Nielsen turned it over. Sabo quickly back for the U.S. Got across center and cleared it in. He just wanted to get the puck as deep so the U.S. could change. That was Pat Foley stepping into his man. Here comes Heatley, driving in on goal. And Heatley pulled down by Ofiero, and they continue after, and Ofiero comes away with the puck. Out for McCarthy. Lundmark got it in over the blue line, and time runs out in the second period. So Canada getting the only goal of the period, and Maxime Ouellet looking good again, although it's been the man at the other end, Philippe Sauvé, who's stolen the show. Here's Gord Miller.
All right, thank you, Paul. Coming up in our second intermission, Bob McKenzie will stop by as well. We'll also look at the highlights from earlier action and have an update. We'll also have more Y2K thoughts from the Canadian players. That's not far away now, nor is our second intermission. You're watching the World Junior Hockey Championship live on TSN.
When the male is in pursuit of the female, the slightest scent of unpleasantness may send the female running. Thus, I recommend Right Guard Clear Gel or Clear Stick. Antiperspirant protection from odor and wetness that glides on clear with no flaky white stuff.
How far's the female?
A good 70 yards, mate. I've made longer passes than that before. Right Guard Clear Gel and Clear Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Okay, Jim, we're going to start with an ordinary hockey cup.
Okay.
Now, you'll need to remove the cup from the strap.
Like that.
We're going to take a skate guard and add some tinsel.
And that's your handle?
You got it.
Okay.
Okay, some glue on there, and you're going to put that down on the skate guard.
Right against the tip?
You got it.
Okay.
A little more tinsel, and we'll fill it with gravy. There you go, Jim. I like to call this the Men's World Cup Challenge.
Oh, boy, look at that gravy. Mmm, turkey.
You like that, huh?
Mmm, good stuff.
He took the bigger bowl. Is it that he knows the irresistible sweet taste of Honey Nut Cheerios comes from good ingredients? Or that he couldn't reach the even bigger one higher up? Honey Nut Cheerios. Real honey nuts and the goodness of Cheerios. It's the one with the B on the box.
Celebrate the millennium with the Cheerios 2000 Scratch and Win card, and you could win a trip for 4 to the 2000 Olympic Games in Sydney, Australia. Look inside these specially marked boxes.
Back in Skellefteå, believe it or not, they sell golf shirts at those kiosks. Talk about the triumph of hope over experience. It's about -20 outside right now. This is the final day of the round-robin portion of this World Junior Hockey Championship. Earlier today here in Skellefteå, the Czech Republic took on Finland. The Czechs still holding out hopes of finishing first in this pool. Early on, it is Antti Miettinen with the shot that makes it 2-1. As the Finns cut the lead, but then Michael Civic, the Washington draft pick, gets his own rebound, makes it 3-1. Now in the third period, the Finns are on the power play, and for reasons known only to him, the Finns pull within a couple of goals, or one goal rather. Hannu Kapanen, the Finnish coach, decides to pull his goaltender with 3.5 minutes to go. It was a move that left a lot of people here shaking their heads. The Czechs score the empty netter and go on to win this one, and so the Czechs take it by a final of 4-2. If Canada and the U.S. were to tie this game, the Czechs would finish first in this pool. Russia, meantime, hammers Switzerland 7-1, and Sweden putting up another crib number on Kazakhstan, so-called because the scores against Kazakhstan have been along the lines of 15-2, 15-4, while Daniel Sedin has a hat trick and an assist for Sweden. Henrik Sedin has 3 assists. So the Group A standings look like this. If Canada wins, it finishes first. If the Canadians tie, they finish second. If they were to lose this game, they would finish third and meet Sweden tomorrow. The loser of this game gets Sweden tomorrow in Umeå. It's about a 2-hour drive from here, and it would be an afternoon game after a night game, not an appetizing prospect for whoever comes out on the short end of this score. So our man between the benches, Bob McKenzie, back with me now. Bob, I would imagine you've spoken to Claude Julien. He must be pleased with the way the Canadians are playing, but he has to think they'd be up by more than this at this point.
Well, he would like to have more than a 1-goal lead going into the third period, but he's extremely pleased with that second period of play for Team Canada. He thought they really established a solid forecheck, especially the line of Manny Malhotra, Chris Nielsen, and Tyler Bouk. They got very physical and started establishing a Canadian-style game down low in the American end. But only a one-goal lead, although it is worth pointing out, and we'll point this out over the course of the third period many times, I'm sure, a tie will give Canada no worse than second place. Will give Canada second place in this round and avoid having to play either Sweden or Russia in the next quarterfinal game.
Bob, it was interesting to note yesterday, Jamie Lundmark took the penalty shot against Radoslav Stana, the goaltender for Slovakia. They're teammates in Moose Jaw. I can hear Eric Chouinard from Team Canada telling his teammates, shoot high on Philippe Sauvé, shoot high on it.
Well, not just Chouinard, there are a lot of guys from the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League on this team. Brad Richards, Brandon Reed, Claude Julien, the coach himself, who says the book on Philippe Sauvé is shoot high when you get the opportunity to shoot, but if you are in tight, fake the shot and go to the deke. So certainly there's a good book on Philippe Sauvé, although he's been almost perfect. The only goal able to beat him, Chouinard's rifling shot on the power play. Sauvé's been very sharp for Team USA.
A lot of scouts here are talking about the play of Jeff Gilson, the San Jose Sharks first-round pick who plays at the University of Michigan. You hate to make comparisons, but I mean, a few years ago when Brian Berard played for this U.S. team, he never came off the ice, and it seems like Jeff Gilson doesn't either.
He's a big, tough, physical, mean defenseman who can play some offense. He's playing on a bad ankle or a bad heel, take your pick. The Canadians are giving him a whack every chance they get. He's a real warrior, though. He was a warrior in Winnipeg last year, right in the Canadian faces, and he's doing that again. Used in every situation, power play, penalty killing, even strength. No player in this tournament right now is playing more than Jeff Gilson for Team USA.
I was going to say your ears were red from the cold, Bob. I think they're actually blue from the language that's being used down there. Thanks very much. Keep an eye on him in the third. Our live coverage of the 2000 World Junior Hockey Championship continues from Skellefteå right after this.
How the years, they fly by, fleeting glimpses, moments in our life. Gotta hold on to them, catch them while you can. These are the moments, these are the moments. JBC holds the moments of our lives.
He took the bigger bowl. Is it that he knows the irresistible sweet taste of Honey Nut Cheerios comes from good ingredients? Or that he couldn't reach the even bigger one higher up? Honey Nut Cheerios. Real honey nuts and the goodness of Cheerios. It's the one with the B on the box.
Celebrate the millennium with the Cheerios 2000 Scratch and Win card, and you could win a trip for 4 to the 2000 Olympic Games in Sydney, Australia. Look inside these specially marked boxes.
People's The Diamond Store has perfect gifts to celebrate this special holiday season. Like this stunning 1-carat diamond bracelet for just $2.99. This 2-carat diamond bracelet for just $4.99. Or this exquisite 3-carat diamond bracelet for $6.99. This year, give her the gift that will last through the next millennium. At People's, the Millennium Diamond Store.
When you get stiff, aching muscles, ever notice how the little things in life seem somehow bigger? For fast relief, remember, one Advil is often enough. Advil for today's tough pain.
Hi, I'm Wayne Gretzky. During the week of January 15th to January 22nd, 600,000 Canadian members will receive a package. And this package from the CHA will be a CHA logo patch that you can sew on either your jersey or your hockey pants. So be sure to check your mailbox in January for your package. Remember, wear your logo with pride. Be part of the great Canadian team, the CHA.
My hometown is Red Deer, Alberta. It's a pretty small community of about 60,000. Great hockey town. I grew up and played minor hockey there. Play for Team Canada would be just unbelievable. Emotions, and I had a chance to participate in '95 when it was in there in Red Deer, and it was just unbelievable emotions, and the way the excitement in the atmosphere was just unbelievable. I think my role model would be my parents, just because they supported me so well, and I've always looked up to them and always looked to them for advice and stuff like that.
This is great! At midnight, we'll eat our way into the new millennium with this Gigundo party sub from Subway. And no bacon on my section.
Eat your way into the new millennium with delicious 6-foot party subs and party platters from Subway.
4, 3, 2. Oh well, there's always the next millennium.
Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
Avoid the lineups and shop online at chapters.ca right now to take advantage of huge Boxing Week specials on books, music, videos, DVDs, and software.
Freedom. Control. Just you and your laptop. Log on to autobytel.ca for vehicle pricing, product reviews, and a low no-haggle price. Autobytel.ca, the road to your next car.
This is our art. We sculpt in metal, paint in G-forces. You won't find our work in museums, for we are artists of the streets. Our art places form in harmony with function, moves body and soul. Cars are our passion. Engineering is our art. Acura.
Palladium, the ultimate place to play. See it, live it. TSN.
Well, I think that the past couple of years, everyone's working on that, and no, I'm not worried about that. With all the advances in technology and all the thousands of technicians and engineers, that problems like that could be restored pretty soon. Aaron's got everything under control, but you never know what can happen. So, a little bit nervous, yeah. Doesn't bug me at all. I'm just, hey, if that happened. If not, it doesn't happen. If we get, maybe stuck over in Sweden for a couple months or something like that, that's always a possibility. But, I'm not too scared about it. I hope everything turns out right. It scares me just the way they're talking about it a little bit, but I think everything will be all right.
Yeah, I think it's just all a bunch of hype. I mean, sure, the computers and all that stuff's got to change, but I don't think anything physical is going to happen. The world's not going to blow up or anything like that, hopefully.
I think that they've got enough technology now to overcome that, so not really. I just think it's going to be another day, and hopefully it will be.
No, I'm not worried about Y2K. I'm sure they'll be taking care of us all right when we do go over to Sweden, so no, I'm not worried about that too much.
I'm not worried about Y2K unless it melts the ice.
So, Wayne, how are you going to score points now?
I really want to try rodeo.
Pretty dangerous.
The great one now waiting patiently. He's obviously very pensive.
This is going to leave a mark. Old 99 is getting thrashed.
Oh, you got to give him points for style.
You want points? Want to win in Durango? Got an SO Extra card? So use it. Now you can win and earn at SO.
One-handed. Pretty good. Shaking well, and...
Oh, look out! He's getting up. Look at the smile on his face.
That's amazing.
Swipe the card, win and earn.
Come here, let me look at it. How many? 4. Look here.
Go. All right, do it. Go.
Welcome back. Paul Romanek along with Gary Green, Gord Miller, and Bob McKenzie as we get set for this third period. And again, the scenario, a win for Canada, and they meet Kazakhstan in the quarterfinals. A tie, they play Switzerland. A loss, and they would have to tough draw against Sweden. The U.S., meanwhile, if they end up losing this game, would have to face Russia in the first round of the playoffs in the quarterfinals. Here's Dunlop trying to work it out. That was Levesque who was filled in and knocked into the boards. Malhotra gets it outside the line. Winchester after it. Battling away there for the U.S., number 8. Nilsson trying to hold him off. And finally the puck cleared in. Nilsson for Canada. Lost the puck there at center to Heiston. Heiston up ahead. Kavanaugh steps over the line and unloads. That was steered away. Heiston trying to get it back for Gilson. Poked around him. He committed himself and got caught. Here comes Reed moving in. Reed shoots. And Sauvé with a nice stop. Reed is open, and now Lundmark's in front. Heatley trying to get it to him, and Sauvé turned that away. So a couple of good chances for Canada to start this third period. Back in over the line. Heiston lost it. Reed coming back again. Tried to hit Lundmark, and he spun out of control there at the blue line. Puck comes around. Ofiero, number 5 for the Americans, will start out. Flips it up ahead to Hall over the line. Long shot. Steered away by Ouellet. Here's Heatley. Lundmark taps it ahead. Reed streaking in over the blue line. Reed tried to drop it back for Lundmark, but Nowak read that and broke the play up. Trying to come in now, Hilbert. He was upended by McCarthy. Lost his stick, the puck, and his balance. Ofiero. Long shot, ripped it up into the corner. Hall up there after it, bumping with Bouwmeester. And Ribeiro gets it up ahead to Pettinger. Out through center, knocked away from him. McCarthy. Up for Pettinger. Here's Hilbert. Tried to throw it back. Foley missed it. Ribeiro trying to get up there after that puck. This is Foley. A little bit too far for Sabo.
This third period starting out like the game started out. No whistles, lots of flow out there, end-to-end action. Both teams skating well.
Yeah, another boring game on the big ice. Sabo gets it up towards the corner.
I was waiting for you to get one of those shots in.
Jackman trying to get it up there towards center, knocked away from Ribeiro. Here's Richards. Ribeiro to Jackman, and he'll flip it down. Sauvé drops it off. Janik starting off for the U.S.
Attaboy, Marco!
Striding up the center is Stewart. Clears it up into the corner. Winchester up after it. Levesque tied up. Bell just got out of the way of Winchester. And Ryder starting back for Canada. He was pulled down, and Dunlop is going to head to the penalty box. He gets nabbed for holding. 3:48 into this third period. We'll be right back. Second period summary brought to you by Cheerios. It all starts here. Only one goal in the game. Chouinard getting it for Canada on the power play. And that is Connor Dunlop in the penalty box. Gets called for holding. And Canada with the power play chance here. And the goal scorer in the game, Eric Chouinard, is not out there yet.
But Spezza, you know, will be out there screening in front of Sauve, and he's hanging around the blue line right now, waiting for that opportunity.
Lundmark upended there at the blue line. Hainsey got a piece of him. This is Gilson trying to come back. He was pulled down by Spezza. And that will nullify the Canadian power play. 25 seconds in, Spezza will head to the box. Between the Boards, brought to you by Molson Canadian. It's a Canadian game.
See, the U.S. picked it up, though, in face-offs in that second period of play. Canada still edging the U.S. with battles won. Power play shots, well, Canada is out shooting the U.S. when they get their opportunities. They have been shooting the puck, but not being able to get it through on Sauve. And now they won't have that power play opportunity any longer as Spezza sits in the penalty box. But Spezza, you can't really blame him too much on that penalty because Canada's power play, they got caught up. The defenseman in the neutral zone. Spezza ended up having to hustle to get back. Otherwise, it would have been a 2-on-1 and a bit of a dive at the same time. But Spezza knows that that's all part of it over here. At least he's learning that very quickly after watching the officiating. But it's been pretty good in today's game.
Hall working it up ahead. Leopold stepped in over the line and unloaded. The team's at even strength for the next minute and 18 seconds, and then the U.S. will enjoy a brief power play. Here comes Jackman to Nielsen. Up through center. Alfiero and over the blue line. Dishes off for Heiston. Heiston carries it along the line, working it up ahead. This is Gilson. Up along the boards, puck rolling around. Gilson tried to come back to get it, but out for Canada is Heatley. Heatley, lead pass ahead for Reed. Here he comes, trying to cut in on goal, and the door was closed by Hainsey. Out through center is Heiston. Finally negotiates the blue line, gets it up ahead, cuts it there by Hainsey. He was trying to tee it up as a pass across in front. Here's Tate shooting. Big shot and a nice stop by Ouellette. That may have been Ouellette's best save of the game. Tate really let fly from the slot.
The Esso Medals and Certificates of Achievement program rewards youngsters across Canada with most dedicated, most sportsmanlike, and most improved player medals, and reinforces team commitment with Certificates of Achievement for each member. Esso, proud supporters of the CHA.
In a tight hockey game, you get your opportunities, you got to take advantage of it. Heatley did a nice job right here of using the boards. That has created now the second 2-on-1 opportunity in the game tonight. They haven't connected on either one of them, though. And that was Brandon Reed, who didn't have much room to shoot. He came in from the far side, and Sauve took all the room away from him.
Jay Bouwmeester starts off. Look at this guy skate. Drives in over the line. Bouwmeester still with it. Tried to dish it off in front of the net. Back for the U.S. comes Dunlop. U.S. now in a power play for 15 seconds. Malhotra battles through the check, gets the puck down the ice. Bout up after it. And Tyler Bout trying to eat up the remaining few seconds of the U.S. power play. And does that. Spezza comes out where it even strength.
U.S. unfortunately, they didn't get an interference penalty on Malhotra the second time because he didn't have the puck, not even close.
Kavanaugh stepped out of the way of McCarthy but lost the puck. Dunlop trying to corral a bouncing puck. It rolls around and comes outside the blue line. Played just over 6.5 minutes of this third period. It is 1-0, Canada leading on a power play goal by Eric Chouinard back at the 3-minute mark of the second period. Henning comes in, works it across. Here's Sabo. Doesn't get a shot, but holds onto the puck. Sabo in the corner. Back for Stewart. Shoots. That one hopped out. Jackman controls and fires it up over the boards and out of play.
Well, we've talked lots about Manny Malholtra's character and his abilities to lead this team in the right way. Take you back just a few seconds ago and watch Malhotra along the boards. He fights for possession of the puck right here. Now, the puck has disappeared. It's gone in deep, but yet there's where the U.S. defenseman, Leopold, could have got caught for an interference penalty, but a great effort by Manny Malhotra at fighting his way through the checks along the board.
Malhotra brought over to be a leader, and he has been that for this Canadian team, both by example and also by encouragement that he can offer to his teammates who haven't been here before. Malhotra was here a couple of years ago with the Canadian team in Helsinki. Here's Kinch. Up along the boards for Pettinger. Pettinger couldn't keep it in. Puck bouncing around. Up after it is Hilbert. Now Nowak trying to fight away from Ribeiro. Nowak. Biron after it. Hibbert watching him. Nowak cruising after that puck. Works it back up to the corner. And Hall moving up. Hall bumping Ribeiro. Works the puck out. Hall's got some room. Trying to pass it in front, and it's knocked away by Pettinger. Chouinard lofting it up, and Ribeiro couldn't get to it. Coming down left wing. Here comes Hall. Gets it up ahead. Heiston waits, gets it out. Tate tried to load it up and lost possession. Gilson with a shot. That's glove down. McCarthy controlling. Long pass up ahead for Chouinard. Gets it ahead. Reed couldn't quite negotiate his way through that maze just inside the line. Back comes Tate. Heiston, top of the slot. Nice pass up to Levesque. Back of the net for Tate. On the wraparound, moves out. Back for Gilson, shooting. That was knocked down. And starting back for Canada is Heatley. Up through center. Got it ahead. Reed in over the blue line. And broken up in the slot.
Canada better be careful here. They're back on their heels a bit. This U.S. team, the last few shifts, have really come alive. They're moving the puck better. Their transition game's quicker.
Heatley up after it. Number 11 for Canada. Reed trying to help out as they poke at it. Trying to get that puck loose. Reed working against Tate. Got it loose. Oh, the puck swung right out in front. Here's a shot. That's knocked away. That was Rossiter who let it go from the wing. Now Kavanaugh knocks it down. Chance for the U.S. Kavanaugh. Nice move. And couldn't catch up to get the shot away. Kavanaugh throws it across. Stewart has to chase it back out to the neutral zone. Here's Kavanaugh. He's given a bump. Puck cleared up over the glass and out of play. 10 minutes and 29 seconds to play in the third period. This one is close. Hey! Third period is brought to you by Subway, the way a sandwich should be. The official website of the Canadian Hockey Association, featuring Team Canada player profiles, etc. www.canadianhockey.ca, your Team Canada site. Well, the U.S. starting to pick things up here in this third period. Some nice hustle by Dan Kavanaugh, among others.
Well, Canada ended up getting a scoring chance, though. They hit the post at one end and then have a 2-on-1 against them at the other. A tight one-goal hockey game. Any bouncing puck could end up being very dangerous for Canada, and there's been a few of them in the offensive zone for the U.S.
Winchester playing it back. That's knocked down. Just came outside the line. Bouck had to sort of tightrope along the line trying to keep the puck. Malhotra. Nielsen was caught in there offside. Bout lofting it into the corner. Nielsen coming up hard after it along with Bout. Puck cleared up to Kavanaugh. He taps it outside. Noah clearing it in for the U.S. and the Americans will change. But a penalty coming up here. It is a slashing call against Chris Nielsen by the looks of it. And the U.S. will get a big opportunity here on the power play to tie this game up.
That penalty on Nielsen's part, coming back in the neutral zone, a slash from behind the play, gives the U.S., who have had the momentum in this last 4 or 5 minutes, they should really have an opportunity to keep it. There's the slash right there at the blue line, and Nielsen sits in the penalty box for his effort.
Here's Bob McKenzie. What's up, Bob?
Well, the intensity level of this game has really picked up, and that may well have started even before these teams hit the ice. Some verbal warfare in the chute coming out. These two teams' dressing rooms right across from each other. Canadians leading the way by suggesting the Americans are pretenders. They've got nothing, boys. They've got nothing. That got Matt Doman, the injured captain of the Team USA, who's not even in uniform. He got them all fired up. These two teams are really going at it here.
Puck comes back to Leopold off the draw. Wrist shot knocked down and cleared out. Leopold taps it around. Here's Hilbert. U.S. on the power play. And Gilson knocked down there, and then he returns the favor. He and Bell were a little battle going.
Good call by the Finnish referee. I should say good non-call by the Finnish referee, though.
Lebec coming in. He's got Hall going to the front of the net. Puck comes back to Leopold. Look at the traffic in front. He tried to drill it through, and it was knocked down. Here's Hilbert after it. That's tapped loose, and Malhotra controlling for Canada, sees an opening, and gets the puck down the ice. That was Malhotra's experience there. A lot of guys that just grabbed it, fired it down the ice quickly, but he saw that he had time.
Yeah, he's patient. He saw the whole ice. Meanwhile, Bell went limping to the bench.
Heiston coming in, broken up there by Bouk, and play whistle down. And another penalty coming up against Canada. Kyle Rossiter will head to the box. Here again is Bob McKenzie.
Well, the American bench was just up in arms. Mark Bell, after that big collision with Gilson at the blue line that Team Canada wanted a penalty on, then collided with defenseman Matthew Biron. But Bell's man came off the bench for him, so the amount of time it took for Bell to haul himself off the ice and go off with the amount of time Canada had too many men on the ice, the referee nor the two linesmen were able to pick that up. The American bench did, and they were up in arms.
And we have had offsetting penalties called. Rossiter goes to the box, but Barrett Heiston has also gone to the penalty box for the U.S. So they exchange minors. The man advantage will continue for the U.S. for the next 51 seconds.
Well, the temperature here in the building has picked up a little bit as the tempers have been boiling between these two teams. It's getting pretty chippy out there.
I think now with this generation of players, there is probably more emotional intensity for a Canada-U.S. game than there is for a Canada-Russia game.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Here comes Kavanaugh. Clears it up. Jackman chops it off the boards. Hainsey working it in on goal. Remember, none of these guys were even born when Henderson scored the goal. Canada-Soviets doesn't mean quite as much to them. But they play against a lot of these American guys and watch them win the World Cup. Tate shoots, scores! Jeff Tate, who has had a couple of good chances to drill it on goal tonight, just got it, I believe, under the pad of Ouellette, and we are tied.
Tate, who's up for the NHL draft this come summer, has got good offensive skills. That's what they talk about. He's from the University of Minnesota, and he found the room. Sooner or later, you keep shooting the puck, you're bound to put one by finally, and that's what happened. Ouellette somehow was able to give that one up. It went right underneath of his left pad. He went down in the butterfly. He thought he had it, but then at the last second realized it had got by him, and we've got ourselves a brand new hockey game.
Tate's first goal of the tournament. He also has an assist. Gets this power play goal at 12:05. And the game is all tied up. Now remember, a tie won't kill Canada. They will still have an easier draw in the quarterfinals. They would face Switzerland if they tie. If they can win, they would face Kazakhstan. But if they lose this game, it would be Sweden in the first round. And that would be playing with fire. Here comes Dunlop. In over the blue line for the U.S. Throws it to the corner. Heatley back to pick it up. Heatley bumping there with Winchester. Winchester trying to get it back for Gilson. Reed in there for Canada. Gilson with a weak shot. That's steered away. Puck bouncing around loose there at the side. Ouellette was looking the other way, but he had the pad dragging behind. Lundmark gets it up ahead. U.S. on the change. Reed moves it up for Canada. Lundmark trying to tap it in over the blue line. Comes back to Stewart. Stewart up ahead. Paul trying to get to the outside. Was bumped by McCarthy. Back for Stewart. That's steered away by Ouellette. Pettinger after it, but it's kept in by the Americans. Hilbert, top of the slot. Looking for some help. Controlling that puck. Hilbert still with it. Now Biron gets the grip on him. And Canada will come back out. Pettinger in over the line. Ribeiro's up there with him. Chouinard jumping into the rush as well, but the Americans counterattack. It's Hall out through center and dishes it down into Canadian territory. Great pace here in this third period. We are all tied at 1. Ribeiro to Pettinger in over the line. Leopold marking him along the boards. And the puck comes out. Gets by Roulier.
The U.S. are really standing up with the blue. They're making it very difficult for Canada to carry that puck in. They're forced to dump it in. But yet the U.S. defense are quick at moving that puck. I thought they might have started to wear down a little bit now, Paul. At least that's what the U.S. coaching staff were a little bit concerned of. 6 games, 10 nights. Doesn't look at it the least bit.
Long pass up there to Ribeiro. Chouinard looking for a loose puck, but it's pushed away by Levesque. Ribeiro dumps it up ahead. Richards flipping it in. Knocked down. This is Hainsey. Up to Gilson. Clears it in. Puck bouncing towards the corner. Foley after it. Tried to center it. Bell knocked over by Foley. Ryder back out for Canada. Up hard after it is Richards into the corner. He's bodied there. Gilson took him out of the play. And Levesque has it for the U.S. Richards after him. Gets the turnover. Ryder shooting. And Sauvé is there with a nice grab. Philippe Sauvé. He's got the hottest glove in the north tonight. There's another nice grab.
This is great! At midnight, we'll eat our way into the new millennium with this Gigundo party sub from Subway.
And no bacon in my section.
Eat your way into the new millennium with delicious 6-foot party subs and party platters from Subway.
4, 3, 2.
Oh, well, 'tis always the next millennium.
Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
Well, Sauvé has been hot. There's no question about it. If I were the Canadian team, though, I would start to change it up a bit. In this last couple of periods, they've been going high with almost every shot. I would start to lower those shots and look for the bottom corner. Ryder got that shot away. Again, a high one. Sauvé's expecting them to shoot high, and that's what Canada's doing.
Puck fired on goal there. The rebound bounces out. Sabo after it. In over the line. Ryder looking for a bit of room. Janik tying him up. Bell up there for Canada. Ryder, look at him battle. Gets it in front. The puck's still loose and now controlled by the U.S. Foley gets it out.
To watch for the U.S. to start using that long pass here to try to get ahead in this hockey game. They're accustomed to doing that. college players, they're used to playing without the red line. Watch for the long bomb. Far more experience at doing it than Canada.
Here comes Dunlop in over the blue line. Puck up ahead to Bout. To Malhotra. Couple of veterans out there for Canada. Trying to break this tie. Nielsen coming up. Got a piece of his man. Kavanaugh back for the U.S. Coming in. Up there with Hall. Kavanaugh knifes it in front of the net. Hall drills that puck. And it just screamed up over the target. The puck was flipping around, but that was a potentially great chance for Adam Hall.
The Royal Bank Financial Group has developed the Toonie Toss fundraising program, a fun way to raise money for minor hockey. Toss a toonie from the stands. One nearest the target wins great prizes. Proceeds from the event go directly to your community hockey program. The Royal Bank, proud supporters of the CHA.
Well, Manny Malhotra ended up throwing his body right in front of that shot. I don't think he got a piece of it. It was tough to tell. Winchester got the drive away, but Malhotra did what he had to do anyway. Got down there, sacrificed the body, and tried to block the shot. However, at the same time, Winchester shouldn't have been left alone in that high slot. Some of Canada's game in their defensive zone is starting to become a little suspect in the last half of this game. The U.S. have picked up the speed.
3.5 minutes to go. Canada and the U.S. tied at 1. Puck loose there in front. Malhotra pushes it away. McCarthy gets it around to Malhotra.
U.S. really keeping that third man in, high in the slot. He's looking for that open ice and that opportunity to get the puck.
Ofiero tried to keep it in, but it got by him. No icing. Tyler Bout up there angling into the corner. He's right after Leopold. I'm waiting for some support, but it didn't get in time. Canada was in a change. There's that long pass. Here's Hilbert moving in. Rising shot, and that is grabbed and held by Ouellet. Sauvé has been good, but Ouellet starting to come to the fore now with saves like that.
For every guy who knows clean is a relative term. For every guy with the ability to follow more than 3 programs at once. For every guy who sees no reason to dirty another glass. And for every guy who'd rather not spend the weekend in a mall, we'd like to introduce you to the Dodge Durango. It has the most cargo space, towing capacity, and power of any SUV in its class. The Dodge Durango. It's good to be a guy.
Well, we talked about the U.S. looking for that long pass that they are very experienced at. Watch right from the U.S. end. They looked to put that puck up at the red line. They were able to do that effectively. It was Hilbert that ended up getting it. Now, Canada were positioned well, but they just didn't end up winning the battle for the puck. Hilbert did with a pretty nice little pivot there and was able to control the puck.
2:45 to go. Canada and the U.S. locked here in a 1-all tie. But the U.S. really taking the game to Canada in this third period. Here comes Reed. Drops it off. Lundmark with a shot that missed the mark. Reed after it. Gilson tapped it up ahead. Heiston clears it up. Tate in behind the goal. Well, back up there. Puck loose in front. And the net is dislodged. And play whistle down.
Oh, a little too close for comfort. In around Ouellet. This period, the U.S. are starting to shoot more, starting to go to the net more. They're starting to jump into the holes, looking for the opportunities more. Ouellet was very sharp. He was looking around behind the net, and that, again, is the toughest place for a goaltender to find the puck when it's behind the net. That's why Wayne Gretzky used to set up his executive office there.
Let's check in again with Bob McKenzie.
Well, guys, Brandon Reed is one of Canada's best skaters. But just a moment ago, I was watching him. Whether it was because it was towards the end of a long shift or it's just at the end of the game, he had absolutely nothing left to come back on the back check. Very interesting. The American legs seem to be very strong at this point. Canada seems to be failing.
I think one reason they're strong is they know that if they lose this game, they end up playing Russia in the first round. which would mean almost certain elimination. If they can tie this game, then they would play Sweden, which wouldn't be quite as bad. On the faceoff, puck comes back to Leopold. Looking for a bit of room, works it up right there at the side. Dunlop was trying to plant and get a shot. Jackman on the way back for Canada. In over the blue line, less than 2 minutes to go. If Canada hangs on for the tie, then they would meet Switzerland in the quarterfinals tomorrow. Here comes Dunlop. Dunlop muscling his way around, centers it in front. Kavanaugh looking for it.
If I'm the U.S., though, I'm going to play for the tie here. If I get my opportunity, great. Go for it and try to win, but make sure that third man's back. I'd far rather play Sweden if I were them than Russia.
Jackman clears it in. Hilbert after it. Now Richards gets it at the side. Ryder tried to chop it home. Bell for Canada. Gets it to Ryder. Nowak starting back for the U.S. Long pass up ahead. Hilbert was easing in behind Rossiter there. Rossiter getting it to Ryder. He was spun around. Chilson back for the U.S. Comes to the line with Hall and Hilbert. Puck cleared up ahead. Ryder. And couldn't catch up to that puck. He turned back. It was the end of a long shift. He wanted to get to the bench. Hall back for the Americans. Gets it to Hilbert. Waiting. Gets it across. And streaking in there on the left side was Heiston. But as Ouellette came across, the net was dislodged.
40 seconds to go, and a lot of pressure here. These players know what's on the line.
Well, a tie doesn't really kill either team. If Canada ends up tying, they play Switzerland in the quarterfinals. The U.S. would meet Sweden. If the U.S. ends up winning this game, then Canada would have to face Sweden in the first round.
And that's not what Canada wants to do at all. Sweden and Russia, without any question, the best teams in the pool, in the other pool, and maybe two of the best teams in this tournament. Jeff Jackson going over his strategy right now, and I'm sure that he's going to be talking, though, about not getting caught in deep. Again, going back to the fact that if the U.S. can maintain a tie in this game, then playing Sweden is far better off than losing it, and they don't want to get caught with Canada breaking out with an odd man rush.
Now, the U.S. can make things even easier for themselves in terms of survival in the tournament. If they could pull off a win here, they would face Switzerland in the quarterfinals. Let's bring in Gord Miller.
Well, Paul, you've probably seen fewer pucks in the net in a practice. Sweden has just put the finishing touches on a 13-1 romp over Kazakhstan. So that'll be the end of all those easy ones, those crib scores we talked about in the B pool.
Thanks.
And I'm not sure it's great for Russia and Sweden to be in that pool and playing such easy games. It doesn't necessarily prepare you for the medal round.
Well, it's the half full, half empty. I mean, the half full portion of the glass is you're going to cruise through round robin facing the likes of Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Switzerland. But then you're coming in to face tough teams from this pool. Here's Leopold shooting. Ouellette stops it, and he will hang on. A great chance for Jordan Leopold as he teed it up from the top of the circle.
Yeah, the U.S. won that draw. Manny Malhotra is complaining about the face-off right now, but right off of the draw, the U.S. were able to get done what they wanted done. Leopold, who they think is maybe one of their best defensemen. Watch right from the draw here. Actually, you could see that Malhotra ended up getting his stick on that puck and then backhanded it actually right out to the point. But Jordan Leopold, we can talk about Gilson all you want, but Jordan Leopold, they think, has really been one of their best defensemen. And they say it's easy to play him too much. He's a great skater, lots of poise.
Puck comes up around the boards and out. Up ahead. Lundmark blew a tire there and couldn't catch up to it. See if the U.S. pull their goaltender. Hilbert gets it up ahead to Hall. Shoots. That's knocked down. They do. Goaltender heading towards the bench. The U.S. with the extra attacker out there. 15 seconds to go. So they want to go for the win and face Switzerland. Great battling here by Reed. Leopold had a hold of him. 5 seconds left. Levesque swings up through center. In over the blue line. Levesque drops it back for Hall. The game is over. Canada and the U.S. battle to a 1-all draw. So it will be Canada facing Switzerland in the quarterfinals. The U.S. will draw Sweden.
But I think Canada accomplished what they wanted to today. U.S. did as well. That was a hard-fought game, the type of game that both of these teams wanted to have, because the referees pretty much allowed them to play the game today. So they all got in a really good skate out there, took the body. The intensity was great right from the opening faceoff.
Couple of good goaltending performances. Maxime Ouellet again, and Philippe Sauvé for the U.S. 1-1 is the final. The round robin is over.